If you're a speaker, coach, comedian, performer, host, DJ with mic skills, or just someone who loves being in front of a room and wants more time on stage, then stick with me for the next few minutes and I'll show you exactly how I stumbled across a way to get paid $10,000 a day to speak on stage. And that packs my calendar with gigs 12 to 18 months in advance. What's great is that I didn't get there by becoming a famous keynote speaker first. I didn't get there by building a massive audience, going viral, or writing a best-selling book either. And I definitely didn't get there by spending years perfecting one keynote, hoping that someday, somehow, it would lead me to the big stages. Instead, I found what I now call the side door to the stage. The side door to the stage literally took me from listening to Tony Robbins motivational CDs in my car to sharing the stage with him no fewer than a half dozen times. The side door to the stage is also the reason events now fly me across the world to speak on stages with people like Kevin Costner, Stephen Bartlett, Kevin Hart, Gary Vee, David Goggins, Barbara Corcoran, and the other sharks from Shark Tank. NFL greats like Joe Montana and Emmitt Smith, and many more celebrities you probably know. And the side door is the reason more than 80% of the events I speak at hire me again and again. Sometimes 10 years in a row, allowing me to predictably fill my calendar with gigs well over a year in advance. Now, I want to be really clear about something. I'm not saying that all of this happened overnight. And I'm not saying that you or anyone else listening to this is suddenly going to make one change and start getting booked for $10,000 a day. That is not real life. What I am saying is that most people who love the stage and are hungry for more time on it are almost always looking at one path to get there: keynote speaking. And that's a big mistake, because there's another way to get paid to speak on stage. That way is the side door to the stage I'm talking about in this video. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you, 1, how I stumbled into it by accident, 2, why I believe it gives stage-hungry people an easier and faster way to get booked on more stages, and 3, how you can get free help from me and my team to start exploring this opportunity for yourself. And by the way, you can go ahead and keep your credit card in your wallet or purse, because there's nothing to buy at the end of this video. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching. Now, let me start by quickly explaining how this whole side door to the stage thing started for me. Back in 2005, I was working in sales for an internet marketing company. My boss was a guy named Matt Basak. Now, Matt was an internet millionaire, and one day he came into my cubicle and asked me if I had ever heard of a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. You've probably heard of it too, because it's one of the best-selling book series of all time. I told him not only had I heard of it, I'd also read it. Then Matt told me that one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Mark Victor Hansen, was putting on an event in LA. It was a 3-day event with big name speakers, motivation, business training, and over 700 people in the room. And Matt asked if I wanted to come with him, be his assistant, and work our company booth. Now, I'd only been working for Matt for about 3 months at this point, so I was still pretty new to the company. But I was immediately excited, because ever since I was a little boy, I've loved being around and on stages. I sang in the school show choir. This is a picture of me in a show choir men's quartet my senior year of high school in 1996. I was the mascot at my university. Shout out Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, Georgia. These pictures here are from the mid-90s. By the way, don't tell anyone, but I actually still have the mascot head from the 90s in my house. I took it with me, but don't tell anybody that. I taught Taekwondo. I was a Taekwondo instructor. That was another way that I loved being on stage and in front of audiences. And I even danced hip hop in nightclubs with different dance crews in my late teens and 20s. I have always loved being around the energy of a room full of people. And something tells me that if you're watching this, you can probably relate to that in some way. So, Matt and I flew out to LA for the event. The first day went smoothly. Matt was showing me the ropes, I was helping where I could, and everything was going fine. Then, on the second day, Matt went to a business lunch. A little while later, one of the event organizers came up to me and said, "Excuse me, young man, where's your boss, Matt? Mark Victor Hansen, the Chicken Soup for the Soul guy, is about to call him on stage." I had no idea where Matt had gone for lunch, so I called him. I texted him. Nothing. I'm standing there trying to get a hold of him, and internally, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. And a few minutes later, the organizer came back and asked me again where Matt was. I said, I don't know, ma'am. I've called him and texted him 14 times. And she said, well, Mark Victor Hansen is about to call him on stage. And I said, well, I don't know what you want me to do about that, lady. I've tried to get in touch with him and he's not answering. And she said, well, do you know his elevator pitch? And I said, woman, what the heck is an elevator pitch? And she said, do you know what he's going to be talking about tomorrow at his breakout session? And I said, I don't know. I've only been working for him for 3 months. And she said, I don't care. Get on stage. And I said, yes, ma'am. Now, listen. All right, listen. Even though I was somebody who loved the stage, I was still scared. There's a big difference between wanting the spotlight and being thrown in front of 700 people with no prep, no plan, no keynote, and no idea of what's about to come out of your mouth. Nevertheless, I ran into that room as fast as I could. I got up there in front of 700 people who were expecting somebody else, and despite what the picture on the next slide might make it look like, something just clicked between me and the audience. This is the actual picture from that day in 2005. I gave a little 2-minute presentation, and at the end of it, to my surprise, the audience responded way bigger than I ever expected. Honestly, it felt like a standing ovation. After I got off stage, I was buzzing. I high-fived the crowd and went back to my table outside the room, and shortly thereafter, Matt came back from lunch. One of the staff members from the event had stopped him and told him what had happened. They told him that I had gone on stage in his place. After hearing this, Matt made a beeline straight toward me. And before he could say anything, I started to defend myself. I was like, dude, you weren't there. I called you. I texted you. They told me to go on. And he was all like, dude, chill out. I'm not mad. They said you did a really good job. And I was like, I don't know. I guess so. And then Matt said something that would change my life forever. He said, Devon, why don't you MC all of our internal company events from now on? This was my side door to the stage moment. By complete accident, I'd stumbled into a great way to speak on stage, being the MC at live events. Now, real quick, in case you aren't familiar, the MC is the person who hosts and guides the whole event from the stage. They're the invaluable bridge between the event organizer, the speakers, and the audience. Our job at an event includes, but is by no means limited to, things like opening and closing the room, keeping the audience energized and engaged between sessions, introducing speakers in a way that makes the audience excited to hear them, telling stories that connect the audience to the event's bigger purpose, filling in time and occasionally even keynoting when speakers run late or the AV glitches, and generally making the entire experience feel smoother, more connected, and more memorable for everyone in the room. And because we're on stage for more of the event than almost anyone else, way more than any keynote speaker, we're the ones who can actually make the greatest impact on the audience. MCs have the power to turn an event from good to great like no one else can. We're kind of like the glue that holds the whole event together. A speaker may deliver one powerful moment, but the MC gets to deliver powerful moments, plural, throughout the entire event, before, between, and after every speaker, influencing how the audience experiences the whole event. And so, if you want to speak on stages so you can make an impact on people's lives, being an MC is a great way to make that happen. And arguably, just as important as that, being an MC is a great way to make great money from the stage. A lot of people in the events world incorrectly see emceeing as a side hustle and not a job the right person can make serious money with. But let me tell you, those people are dead wrong. MCs can and do make a lot of money. But don't just take my word for it. Let me show you with my own receipts on the screen right now. All right, so this is an invoice for $7,491 to host an event in Montego Bay, Jamaica at a 5-star all-inclusive resort that the event paid for. By the way, this was a repeat client. This is an invoice, for $10,997 to host a one-day event in Washington, D.C. Again, over 10 grand for a one-day event. This is an invoice for $19,000 to host an event for entrepreneurs in London, England, and I even got the British people dancing. This is an invoice for a whopping $31,497 to host a 3-day virtual event in Tampa, Florida. Again, this is a repeat client, and as you see right there on your screen, this is a real invoice, this took real work, and this is not a guarantee of income. Now, this image is from a 3-day virtual event in Vegas that featured names like David Goggins and the Sharks from Shark Tank, and I got paid multiple 5 figures to host it. And this, I know it's hard to see, is an image from my accountant showing $262,473 in total event invoices more than 12 months in advance. Over the past 5 years, I've made well over $1 million from emceeing. Real talk, I'm not sharing any of these figures to brag. I actually feel kind of icky sharing these numbers, but I'm showing you the numbers because number one, I know you're probably skeptical, and number two, I want you to understand that emceeing doesn't have to be some little side thing. For the right person, with the right skills and the right positioning, emceeing can be a great way to get on more stages and make more money. Now, if that's something you are interested in, if you want a way to speak on more stages, to get flown to events around the globe, and to tell your stories and impact more people, then here's how I can help you start doing that for free. Go and get listed in my brand new platform called Emcee Directory. Emcee Directory is a free-to-join platform built for MCs, hosts, speakers, DJs with mic skills, coaches, trainers, comedians, performers, facilitators, and anyone who loves the stage and wants more time on it. It's completely free to create your profile, get listed in the directory, and get contacted by event organizers. And when someone hires you after contacting you through the platform, we don't take a commission fee. It's 100% free to get found and hired through the directory. And unlike other speaker directories, we don't just give you a basic listing where you upload a photo and write a few lines about yourself. We actually give you way more than that. We're building Emcee Directory around 3 core things. First, a place to create a stunning profile that showcases who you are, what your unique talents are, the type of events you're right for, and what you bring to the room. Your Emcee Directory profile gives you a great place to send events without needing a website yourself. Second, a place to access free weekly training calls to help you level up as an MC with MC-specific skills, stage techniques, business insights, and marketing ideas you will not find anywhere else. These calls are led by me and a small group of some of the best and highest paid MCs in the world. So you can learn from people who are actually doing this at the highest level. And if you ever want to go deeper, there are paid trainings available too, but those are completely optional. And third, a place with a community of like-minded people who are also growing their stage careers. These people are kind, friendly, and supportive. They want to see you win. Some have even helped others into stage opportunities they wouldn't have known existed otherwise. Honestly, our free Thursday training calls have become a highlight of my week. And if you love speaking and personal growth, you're going to love them too. So, if you've enjoyed this video, then whether you want to land a few MC gigs a year or you want to build a serious high-paying career as an MC, your next best move is to come and get listed on Emcee Directory. It's free, it takes less than a minute to create your account, and you can always improve your profile over time. And get this, even though Emcee Directory is still young, members are already being found and contacted by event organizers, and people have already been hired through the platform. An event organizer in your city could be looking for an MC with your skills right this very second. You might be missing out on gigs just because you haven't claimed your free profile yet. So, my advice? Don't hang around and put off creating an account until later. Register your free account now so you can get your profile live. Tap the button below this video or go to emceedirectory.com/free-signup. That's emcee directory.com/free-signup and register your free account now. All right, that is everything for me in this video. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this video was helpful for you. And more than anything, I'm excited to see you inside the directory. Bye-bye for now.